Hi, everybody.
Welcome to Integrity Tuesday. And why is it Integrity Tuesday?
Oh, we're talking all things integrity.
Integrity.
All things
Ooh,
integrity.
I like that. All things integrity. That's right. This is a broadcast where we're discussing integrity investors concepts. And as you know, on Thursday, we host a show called
More than money.
More Than Money.
Yeah.
But now we're going to be doing a show, Integrity Investors, because there's a lot of people out there who really want to understand what it means to invest with biblical integrity.
Yeah.
They have a desire to honor God in all they do, including their investments and finances. And we will be talking about the stewardship of investments, the stewardship of how you earn your money, also the holistic view of everything financial from a biblical point of view.
Yeah. And in doing so, I think it would be important for us to kind of grab integrity by the basics and have you explain a little bit of what integrity is. So you created the name Integrity Investors. Can you tell us why? Why did you pick that name?
Sure. Way back when I formed and incorporated Integrity Investors, I was with another firm. I was a partner with a firm.
Okay.
And that firm did investment management and financial planning and insurance and all the things that you would expect of a good firm to do. It was called the Financial Engineering Center. And I helped build that firm and develop it and created it. But as God convicted me of my position in this world, this thing we call life, meaning that I'm ambassador of the kingdom to this world, to the financial markets.
Oh, okay.
That I should first represent the kingdom. And I realized that a lot of the advice we were given at the Financial Engineering Center really was great worldly advice, but maybe not so much always great kingdom advice. So there had to be there was a breach in integrity about who I am in Christ and the advice I was giving to the world. So I wanted to make the new company that I started to be solid and without void, without compromising kingdom focus, godly focus, biblical focus. So integrity was a word that told me that's what it's all about. Integrity Investors is all about honoring God in all you do, including your investments.
So you say including your investments, so that means that is there more that you do than just investments?
Oh, absolutely. Or? You know, there's a rule, FINRA rule, that's called Know Your Client. And what that rule was set up for stockbrokers was so that they just wouldn't sell people stuff that didn't fit who they were and what they're about. And there's all sorts of due diligence you're supposed to do with clients to make sure you're serving them properly. All this is great rules and stuff, but at Integrity Investors, just to know your client properly, we always felt, how can I help somebody to walk close to the Lord and walk well in this world, in their finances and in reaching their goals and all those things, if I didn't know what they were? So we do a holistic view here. All our clients at Integrity Investors have open to them full financial planning. And it's a system we developed internally. It's called Uniqueness Planning. And the reason we call it that is because a lot of financial planning software assumes everybody's the same and wants everybody to fit in the same box. You know, if you're this age and you got to do this. Well, that's not true. God created each of us unique, and your financial plan should be designed around the uniqueness of your life that God created for you and the path you believe God has you on, and therefore the goals that you want to achieve on that path. So the uniqueness planning process digs deep. It starts with finding out where you're at, what's important to you, how you got there, where you really believe you should be, and where you want to go, and then help you develop a strategy, a roadmap, a clear vision of how to get there. So we do financial planning, and that includes retirement planning. It includes all sorts of goal-based planning. So nothing is left out. Some goals are much different than anybody else's. Then again, back to uniqueness planning. When we do that kind of planning, it's very important to understand there could be gaps in the plan or problems or actually roadblocks that are sending you in the wrong direction. And those gaps need to be taken care of. Investments would be one of those areas, but then there's other things like insurance planning.
Oh, true.
Sure, a lot of people say, well, I'm married, I got 42 kids and a wife who's a stay-at-home mom and no life insurance. Well, we have an issue here because most people would also say, and if something happens to me, since I'm the breadwinner, then I want to make sure my family has the income to continue on as if I was there. So, there's all sorts of insurances and things like that that need to be looked at and considered. Insurance planning is a very complicated process. Most people think, because of the way it's advertised, that life insurance, disability, long-term care, all this is easy and simple. If it was easy and simple, everybody would be able to do it for themselves. It's very complicated, and there's a lot of misinformation out there. So again, we start with a holistic plan, uniqueness plan of somebody's life. When there's a gap somewhere, we'll go out and find a product to fit that because we're independent. We don't work for an insurance company. We work for our clients, and then we find the product that fits their plan.
Okay.
Kind of like building a house. Imagine if you said, I want to build a house, and somebody said, okay, I'm a stonemason, so everything's going to be made out of stone. And it's like, well, wait a minute, I just wanted a stone front on the house. I wanted actually steel I-beams to hold the house together. I wanted wood for this. I wanted drywall for that. You don't start designing a house by looking at what materials are out in the market. You design a house based on your needs and goals for that house, the spacing and all that kind of stuff. Then once the architect's done drawing it, the engineers put it together, they decide which materials will work best in what areas, and finally you go shopping for those materials. That's how we approach a plan to somebody's life.
Okay. So you mentioned earlier with integrity investors, you can honor God in all that you do, including your investments. If I can ask, how do you make things like insurance or financial planning, stewardship, like how do you make those biblical?
That's a good question. I don't make something biblical.
Oh, okay.
It's either biblical or it's not.
Okay.
The Bible tells us things like we should leave an inheritance to our children and our children's children. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children and his children, and a good man plans for verse slips, and so I'm going to really paraphrase it. It says it plans for those unexpected things in life and prepares for them.
Okay.
So there's all sorts of verses that tell us that when it comes to insurances, that it's okay to use them, and they may be a product or service. It's okay not to use them also. But the point is, it all comes down to the uniqueness planning.
Okay.
We do screen as many things as we can from the investment point of view. When we can do it from an insurance, that's great too. Sometimes there's nothing you can do, and there's no product out there that fits who you are. So you have a choice to make at that point.
Okay. So you mentioned a lot of things today,
Investments
and insurance and financial planning and
stewardship giving,
and all that.
We help people with all of it. Debt slaying.
Yeah, very
That's
true.
part of what we do too. When clients come in and they're overwhelmed with debt, and it's removing a lot of money out of their current lifestyle to maintain their debt, or not even eliminate it, just maintain it. We help them to slay that beast and get out of debt and hopefully stay out of debt.
Yeah. So what advice would you give to someone who, say maybe they've heard all the terms you used today and they don't have any of that stuff in order for their lives? What advice would you give them?
Well, it's very important from a steward's perspective, meaning you and me, we're stewards. We are representatives of the kingdom. It's not just stewardship over money, but life. And we've seen it so many times, and you've seen it now too, where clients will come in, or children of clients will come in, and people haven't planned. And not only has it caused financial hardship on the children, but it has caused mental anguish because things aren't in place, and there's all these lawyers now got to get involved to take care of stuff. So planning is very important, including those documents like wills, trust, ownership arrangements, durable powers of attorney, healthcare powers of attorney. All that's very, very important, so that you can help yourself to realize the fullness of Christ in the blessings He has given you, and be the conduit that he would want you to be of those blessings to others and to your family, but also to take off a lot of frustration and anxiety from your shoulders and your children's shoulders as things progress and you pass on and your state moves gently on instead of the wars and these attorneys and these government officials taking over and dividing things up and doing things unnecessarily. So getting everything in proper place. My advice is comes right from a good friend of mine and an advisor who's been in the industry probably longer than a lot of us been alive. But Mick Owens, he's always said, you got to have a plan.
Yeah.
The very least, what a plan does, it helps you realize the blessing God has for you and how you could, if you so desire, do better to the glory of God. And in doing so, like I said, realize more peace in your life, help pass that peace along to your children and friends and those in need. So, yeah, you got to have a plan. So my advice would be find an investment or a financial planner, somebody who can help you to design a plan around the uniqueness of your life in alignment with your biblical and Christian values. Both those are very, very important. You can call us at Integrity Investors if you'd like to do that. We'd be honored. 314-212-1404. Or if you don't live around here and you need a referral, give us a call. We'll find somebody for you near where you live if you want to have a one-on-one there.
Yeah, very true. I have one last, I guess, surprise question for you then. So you mentioned a lot of, if you want to leave an inheritance for your kids or retirement, things of that nature. What about the other end? Say someone is just starting out. Maybe they're younger, maybe they have a first job, things like that. They might not have these things on their mind. What advice would you give them if they do have all that time?
What an awesome opportunity to begin your life with the proper machinery in place to make your life work as fluid as possible and not fall into the same traps as others by developing a system around the uniqueness of your life that helps you move forward as efficiently and as fast as possible. How cool would that be to be able to start life like that? I know I wish I could have. It took me a long, long time to figure a lot of things out. And if someone's just starting adult life and they put the things in place that they know are right by having a plan, by taking that eagle's perspective on how things work in the financial markets and in life from a biblical perspective, then they will have a smoother journey by far and a more pleasant journey. Less stumbling blocks, less problems with finances. Nobody can predict the future, but I'm telling you, it just, if you know what to look for, it makes it easier so you just don't step on landmines and stumble over blocks that don't need to be there, and helps you keep on the path so that you do well and you do well doing well.
Yeah, there you go. Well, thank you, Mark. I appreciate your time today. And again, if you guys need help with anything, have questions, maybe don't know where to start, Mark is more than happy to help you. You can call Integrity Investors, 314-212-1404, and be sure to join us every Tuesday for Integrity Tuesdays.
Look forward to it. God bless everyone.